He was murdered once, betrayed by his family and the woman he thought he loved. Now, reborn into the past, Liam finds himself a willing captive to the one person who truly loved him, a woman whose obsession is as dangerous as it is absolute. To survive, he must not only accept her dark devotion but embrace it. But in a world of lies and monstrous love, can he rewrite their tragic story, or is he just trading one cage for another, more beautiful one? You are 1,000 times more potent than any drug, both destructive and addictive. My love is a scorching, dangerous thing, yet I cannot stop. Lorelei Luo. Liam was reborn. He came back to life at the exact moment he was confessing his love to Willow Luo. But Liam felt no joy. He knew that in a few moments, Lorelei Luo would appear. And this time, when she dragged him away, she would chain him directly to her bed. The thought sent a shiver down his spine. He had to save himself. In this new life, he only wanted to love Lorelei, but not as a prisoner. Willow was still looking at him, a bashful expression on her face as she waited. Liam, what did you want to tell me? She knew, of course, that he was about to confess his feelings. Her plan was to accept him, then set her cousin Ethan's scheme into motion. Liam, are you not feeling well? She asked, puzzled by the beads of sweat forming on his forehead. A screech of tires shattered the pleasant atmosphere. A luxury car pulled up behind Liam. He knew. She was here. Liam took a deep breath. Just as he was about to unleash a tirade on Willow in front of Lorelei, maybe even slap her, the car door flew open. Lorelei emerged, her face a thunderous mask, and without a word, she struck the back of his neck with a sharp chop. Before Liam lost consciousness, his mind could only form a single, resounding question mark. Willow froze, stunned by the sudden appearance of the breathtakingly beautiful woman. Lorelei's beauty was the kind that seared itself into your memory, a beauty so profound it defied comparison. In her presence, Willow, the campus queen of Kingston University, felt like a speck of dust in the vast ocean, utterly insignificant. Yet, this same woman exuded an aura of death. It took all of Willow's courage just to meet her gaze. Who are you? She stammered, a chilling cold seeping into her bones, as if she'd just brushed against death itself. Lorelei retracted her killing intent, scooping Liam into her arms and carrying him to the car without a backward glance. If Willow wasn't someone Liam cared about, she would be dead already. A convoy of luxury cars sped away. And only then did Willow notice it was a full motorcade, with what looked like bodyguards standing by the woman's side. Liam was kidnapped by that woman. Willow pulled out her phone, about to call the police, but then she paused. If Liam died, wouldn't his family automatically inherit all his shares in the company? Thinking this, Willow dialed Ethan's number instead. Night fell. In a dimly lit room, Liam felt a cold touch move from his cheek to the corner of his eye. A woman's icy, familiar voice sent shivers through him. Liam, I want to gouge out your eyes and preserve them as specimens. That way, you'll only ever have eyes for me. And if I break your legs, you won't be able to run away, will you? His eyes shot open. He was met with that familiar, gorgeous face, now framed by crimson-red eyes. Lorelei was lying on top of him, one hand caressing his face, the other holding a cold, gleaming dagger that she slowly traced across his chest. Her plan was to possess him. If that failed, she would consider carving out his heart and placing it within her own body. This beautiful woman, this familiar scent, this familiar touch, this familiar bed. Liam knew he wasn't dreaming. He was captured again, his hands and feet shackled with iron chains. A storm of emotions flooded him. Pain, immense pain, but also relief. A single tear escaped his eye. The glint of it in the darkness made Lorelei pause. Are you scared, Liam? Why can't you just be a good boy? Suddenly, Liam threw his arms open, trying to embrace the woman before him. The clatter of chains didn't stop him. He wrapped his arms tightly around the woman who loved him to the bone. Lorelei was visibly stunned. What trick are you trying to pull now, Liam? She said slowly. Don't even think about it. Tonight, you belong only to me. Though her words were cold, his embrace filled her with a profound satisfaction. This was the first time Liam had ever hugged her willingly. The sensation was like a drug, instantly addictive. Liam nodded frantically. Yes, I'll always belong only to you. The words made Lorelei's brow furrow. He would willingly hug her and say such a thing just to escape? Hadn't he always said that the mere touch of her skin made him sick? A bitter smile touched her heart, but she didn't expose his lie. Then prove it to me. With those words, Lorelei leaned in closer. Liam was about to speak, to say, okay, I'll definitely, when his words were cut off. The feeling on his lips was familiar and domineering. As his oxygen dwindled, Liam knew this was a test of his sincerity. Reason was quickly consumed by desire. He felt a warm, assertive presence enter his mouth, and for the first time, Liam actively met Lorelei's passionate kiss. His hand slowly found her waist, a gesture she clearly enjoyed. She was certain he was faking his compliance, but she didn't care. Even if it was a lie, she was willing to drown in it. She desperately wanted to possess her Liam completely. Her heart was already stirred. Liam responded with equal fervor. Lorelei was inwardly shocked. How could he be so obedient? She pressed harder, and a metallic taste of blood filled her mouth, but Liam endured the pain on his lip without a hint of blame. After several minutes, Lorelei finally let him breathe again. Lorelei, I want you. Lorelei froze. The dagger in her hand clattered to the floor. A light flickered in her eyes. She wondered if she was hearing things, if her sickness was acting up. Liam hadn't called her a monster or a demon. And he wanted her. Liam, you want me. Liam's eyes were filled with longing. He was ready to give up everything to have the woman before him. He nodded. Give yourself to me. They were both adults. The meaning was clear. Okay. Even knowing he might not be genuinely surrendering, Lorelei chose to believe him, because she craved the reality of this moment more than anything. The two of them fell into a frenzy. In the past, Liam had seen Lorelei as a perverted, psychotic, obsessive, and cruel demon, and he had lived in constant fear, always trying to escape. Only now did he truly begin to understand this demon. And as a beautiful melody began to play, he gave in. After a wild night, Liam slowly opened his eyes as a ray of morning sun pierced through the curtains and touched his face. The woman beside him was coiled around him like a serpent, watching him intently. On the white sheets, a single red stain stood out. In his past life, this night had been forced upon him. Lorelei's behavior had been so ferocious he thought she would tear him apart, and he had been terrified. He hadn't noticed any details then. Now he knew. This was Lorelei's first time, too. You're awake. Lorelei's face was impassive, but her heart was pounding with fear. She was afraid that last night had been a fleeting dream, that her Liam would go back to trying to escape her. Looking at the peerless beauty in his arms, Liam was filled with a sense of wonder. He knew that this seemingly harmless and soft woman was, in fact, a beautiful, ruthless, and pathologically obsessive demon who could snap at any moment. In his past life, he had constantly tried to break free from her control, but he had failed, right up until his death. He remembered when Lorelei had first appeared in his life, during his freshman year of college. Her first words to him were a demand, "Marry me." When he refused, everything spiraled into a strange and terrifying new direction. 3 years passed in a blur of resistance. He discovered that he could never escape Lorelei's grasp. The more he fought, the tighter she held on. It all came to a head after he repeatedly tried to confess his feelings to the campus queen, Willow Luo. Lorelei had finally snapped. She had desperately tried to bind him to her side, to force him, possess him, even abuse him. For another 3 years, they played out a drama of him fleeing and her pursuing, a game he could never win. Then, one day, while Lorelei was away on a business trip, an accident occurred. Liam had been tricked by his secret girlfriend, Willow, into signing a share transfer agreement. Immediately after, Willow, along with his own adoptive mother and stepbrother, pushed him from the top of a skyscraper. The wind had been strong. The feeling of weightlessness and terror was something Liam would never forget. A sickening thud echoed in his ears, and after a brief, sharp pain, Liam was dead. His father, holding Liam's suicide note, successfully inherited all of Liam's shares in the Lin Group. Combined with his own holdings, he became the undisputed head of the corporation. As for Liam, he became a disembodied soul, forced to watch his scumbag father, stepmother, and their vile children celebrate his death. To save time, his father had him hastily buried on a deserted mountain that very night. But shortly after the earth was piled over him, Lorelei appeared. She frantically ordered her men to dig up his grave, a pathetic hole, without even a coffin or cremation. She cradled his disfigured corpse, her sobs tearing through the silence. After a long, long time, she leaned down and kissed him. Even as a soul, Liam's eyes widened in shock. He couldn't understand how she could bring herself to do it. He was disgusted by his own appearance. "Liam, why didn't you listen? Why wouldn't you stay by my side?" she whispered. "I'm sorry. I failed to protect you. Just wait for me. I'll be with you soon." Lorelei must have been so disappointed in him. She had his body taken back to her estate, the Celestial Manor, and then she waited. Soon, his father Victor Lin, his stepmother Melinda Luo, his non-biological stepbrother Ethan Lin, and Ethan's cousin and lover, Willow Luo, were dragged in. They had been celebrating at home, eating and singing, before being hauled to the manor. Seeing the globally feared female tycoon, they all trembled like leaves in a storm. "You killed my Liam," Lorelei said. "You deserve to die by 1,000 cuts." All of them looked terrified, not doubting for a second that she meant it. The whole world knew how insane and terrifying this woman was. Weren't they told Liam was just her plaything? Why would she care that he was dead? Victor stammered, "Miss Luo, this is all a misunderstanding. I'm Liam's biological father. Why would I kill him?" Ethan, Melinda, and Willow were even more panicked. They were the ones who had conspired to kill Liam. Ethan cried out, "Miss Luo, this has nothing to do with us." Melinda added, "As his mother, I loved Liam dearly. I would never harm him." Willow pleaded, "It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I'm the woman Liam loves most." The soul of Liam watched this all with a bitter, hollow laugh. Victor hadn't participated directly, but he was certainly one of the people who most wanted him dead. It was a shame he had been too blind to see it in life. Only after death did he see his father's true face. For the most powerful woman in the world, finding out the truth was laughably simple. Lorelei's voice, sharp as ice, cut through the air. None of you will have a clean death. Her words carried an infinite chill and murderous intent. Ethan was the first to break, throwing himself to the ground and banging his head on the floor. Miss Luo, I was wrong. I was wrong. It was these two bitches, it was their idea. He pointed, pushing his mother and Willow forward. The two women stared in disbelief. This was the son and brother they adored? Melinda blustered. Son, don't be afraid. She wouldn't dare touch us. This is a society of law. Ethan wanted to scream. You're talking about law to the richest, most powerful, and craziest woman in the world? Willow was still in shock. When she saw Lorelei suddenly produce a sharp, boning knife, she began to shake uncontrollably. You can't kill me. I'm the woman Liam loves most. If you kill me, he won't be able to rest in peace. Lorelei paused, then a crazed look filled her eyes. Yes, that was right. If it weren't for this woman, her Liam would never have died. What did Liam even like about Willow? Was it just her face? Liam, watching, laughed again, a laugh of pure rage. Lorelei, knife in hand, advanced slowly. Then I'll turn you into a human swine, she said coldly. And that face of yours, the one you're so proud of? I'll make sure it's admired by people every single day. A series of agonizing screams filled the air as the four of them were subjected to a fate worse than death. Victor was given the death of 1,000 cuts, his bones later thrown into a cesspool. Ethan was castrated and thrown into the manor's pond, to be devoured by crocodiles. Melinda was cooked into a grand feast, and the entire Luo family was invited to partake before their family was swiftly annihilated. As for Willow, Lorelei didn't kill her. Instead, she turned her into a beauty vase and sent her to Southeast Asia. Willow's 4 limbs were amputated, her tongue was cut out, and her torso was placed in a large vase, leaving only her head exposed. Supported by an 4 drip, she was forced to perform on a stage every day, moaning for the amusement of the countless men in the audience below, a living, breathing work of art. Witnessing their gruesome fates, Liam didn't feel Lorelei was being cruel. Instead, his heart filled with gratitude. He had always thought he was just a toy she wanted to possess, never imagining she would personally avenge him. After dealing with them, Lorelei returned to the manor, changed into a wedding dress, and gently laid down in a crystal coffin. Inside, already dressed in a groom's suit, was Liam's body. Liam, as a spirit, was powerless to stop her. His heart ached. Liam, I'm here with you now. I told you, in life or in death, you are mine, she whispered. We're married now. Look, I'm wearing a wedding dress for you. Am I beautiful? Beautiful, so beautiful, Liam thought. To be able to die with you. It's wonderful, she continued, her voice growing faint. In the afterlife, will you spare me a glance? If there is any possibility, I will stay with you forever, Liam vowed. To share a bed in life and a grave in death. In that moment, Liam truly understood the depth of Lorelei's love for him. But it was too late. There was no going back. He wandered the earth as a spirit for an unknown amount of time, seeing many things he wanted to see, but he never again saw Lorelei's beautiful figure or heard her threatening voice. It wasn't until he witnessed Willow finally die in Southeast Asia that Liam was reborn. Why aren't you saying anything? Lorelei's voice pulled him from his thoughts. She noticed him staring at her, a slight frown on her face. Liam came back to the present, the soft warmth of Lorelei's body in his arms reminding him that he had another chance. This time, he would devote his entire life's love to the woman before him. Lorelei, I am MPH. Lorelei didn't know what Liam was about to say, but she was afraid it would be something that would shatter her hopes, so she didn't give him the chance. The kiss was fierce, as if she wanted to consume him whole. He began to respond. Lorelei was pleased with his reaction. She wanted to leave her mark on him. A low groan escaped Liam's lips as she bit down on his shoulder, blood trickling from the wound. If what you said last night was a lie, then I'll cut out your tongue. Liam shuddered. He knew this madwoman was capable of anything. Don't worry. From now on, I belong only to you. Lorelei was very satisfied with his current state. Even if it was a lie, it was a sweet one. Then what did you want to say to Willow Luo yesterday? Liam froze, then fell silent for a moment. He was supposed to be confessing his love to Willow yesterday. He didn't know how many times he had tried before, but he knew that after this particular attempt, Lorelei's obsession had intensified, leading to his complete captivity. All Lorelei wanted was Liam. What was so wrong with that? If she wanted Liam, Liam should just give himself to her. Lorelei, I went to see Willow yesterday to draw a clear line between us. The truth is, I don't like her at all. Do you think I would believe such a childish lie? All right, I admit I was blind before. I used to like Willow, but I see clearly now. You are the one I want for the rest of my life. Lorelei seemed to see right through Liam's little act. You think saying this will make me let you go? If you dare to see Willow Luo again, I have no problem turning her into a taxidermy specimen and placing her right here, so she can watch every night as I possess you. Liam knew Lorelei could do it. In his last life, Willow's fate was far worse. Liam also knew he had hurt Lorelei too deeply, but it didn't matter. Now that he was reborn, he would use his entire life to prove he wasn't lying. With that thought, he hugged her tighter. Lorelei savored the feeling of their bare skin pressed together. Liam, say my name. Lorelei, kiss me. Liam obeyed. Much later, feeling completely drained, he drifted off to sleep. When he woke again, it was already noon. Lorelei was gone, and the chains that had bound his wrists had vanished. It was a good thing the new semester hadn't started yet, or he would definitely be late. He spotted a small jar of ointment on the table and smiled. He knew it was a highly effective scar cream, a unique formula of Lorelei's. He had used it often in his past life. He went into the bathroom. The cut on his lip had already healed, but the bite mark on his shoulder was still vivid, and the scratches on his arms and back were just as noticeable. They were all reminders of how wild the woman in his life was. But compared to his past life, this was nothing. She just wanted to mark him as her own. What was so wrong with that? If she wanted to, Liam would let her. With that thought, Liam didn't even bother applying the ointment to his shoulder. This mark belonged exclusively to Lorelei. He opened the bedroom door, and the butler, Franklin, hurried over. Young Master Liam, are you ready to dine? Liam had a good impression of Franklin, who had been the one to counsel him most in his previous life. Where's Lorelei? The miss has gone to the office. Liam nodded and sat down at the small dining table. Liam remembered how he used to always sit as far away from Lorelei as possible. Because of this, she had replaced the grand dining table with this small one. Even then, Liam refused to sit next to her, always taking the opposite seat, or simply refusing to eat. Shaking his head at the memory, Liam watched as a maid brought out bowl after bowl of soup. What's this? Franklin beamed. Franklin had been shocked that morning when Miss Luo had asked him to prepare so much of this restorative soup. Franklin never thought this day would come. Young Master Liam had finally blossomed. This is a vitality-boosting broth the miss had prepared for you, sir. Liam was silent. A grown man, being told by his own woman that he was weak? Well, maybe a little. But that was mainly Lorelei's fault. What kind of person could withstand that kind of workout? I'm not drinking it. I, Liam Lin, would rather jump from this balcony than drink a single sip of this soup. Liam calmly started eating his meal, pointedly ignoring the broth. His phone rang. He glanced at the caller ID, Dad, and a grimace crossed his face. After a moment, he answered. Victor Lin's furious voice erupted from the phone. You little brat, where are you? I heard you were kidnapped. Do you have any idea how worried your mother and brother are? We waited a whole day and night for a call from the kidnappers, but nothing. What are you playing at? Liam knew Willow must have told them. Liam had received the same call in his past life. Liam had told his father he'd been taken by Lorelei and described what happened. But after confirming it was indeed Lorelei, Liam's father had hung up without another word, as if nothing had happened. Liam's eyes narrowed. Had they wanted him dead, even back then? Oh no. Liam could feel himself starting to grow a brain. Old man, don't you ever talk to me like that again. Old man. The phone on the other end went silent. Victor Lin was stunned, as if he couldn't believe those words came from Liam. Beside him, Ethan whispered, Dad, maybe he really was kidnapped. He's probably pretending to have a bad relationship with you so you won't be implicated. The kidnappers might be right there with him. Victor had a sudden realization. That must be it. Otherwise, how could his usually timid son be so disrespectful? The thought even touched him a little. Don't worry, son. After you die, your father will give you a grand funeral. Liam, Dad was just worried. I might not have the ransom money right now, but you can ask your captors if they have any other demands. As long as it's something I can do, I'll do it. Just ask them to at least leave your body intact. Liam laughed, but it was a laugh laced with a cold, murderous rage. Who said I was kidnapped? I just went home with my wife. You hear a little rumor, and you go crazy. Your head is like a watermelon full of mold. One shake, and it's all rotten slop. You're the very definition of an idiot. Having an old bastard like you for a father was a real eye-opener. Victor was instantly enraged. You little bastard, what did you say? I'm your father. How dare you speak to me like that? Go ask around on any street and find out who's the real daddy here. You keep calling me a little bastard. Did you shove an enema in your mouth? Because all that comes out is shit. Even your name is idiotic. You shouldn't be Victor the Great. You should be Victor the Coward. Having vented his fury, Liam hung up and proceeded to block his entire family's phone numbers. The Lin family, just you wait. In a couple of days, Victor, I'll show you who the real father is. Beside him, Franklin's jaw was on the floor. Franklin couldn't believe the state of affairs between young Master Liam and his family. And what did the young master just say? Went home. With his wife? Franklin was on the verge of tears of joy. Franklin personally refilled Liam's bowl of soup. Liam just stared at it. Liam would rather die than drink it. Celestial Manor was enormous, but Liam was bone idle. He rarely left the main villa, preferring to laze around inside, thinking about Lorelei. Liam really wanted to cuddle with his badass CEO wife. With that thought, Liam picked up his phone and found the chat history that was filled with money transfers Liam had never accepted. Meanwhile, in the Lin family villa, Victor was so furious he hurled his phone across the room. It smashed directly into Ethan's forehead. Ah, damn it. Melinda shrieked and rushed to check on her son. Victor froze, shocked to see blood already seeping from Ethan's wound. Melinda shot Victor an angry look. Son, are you okay? She asked worriedly. Victor felt a pang of guilt. I'm sorry, son, I didn't mean to. Ethan, wincing in pain, put on a brave face. I'm fine, Dad. You should focus on how to save my brother. At least get the kidnappers to leave his body intact. Forget that ungrateful whelp, Victor snapped. If he dies, he deserves it. Melinda handed her phone to Victor. That's right, honey. Liam must have been threatened just now. As his mother, I'm so worried. Call him again, quickly. Tell the kidnappers they must leave his body intact. Victor was moved to tears. You two are just too kind. If that rebellious son of mine were half as sensible as Ethan, I wouldn't have made him sleep in the storage room. Victor took the phone. What's that brat's number again? After Victor asked, all three of them fell silent. It seemed none of them actually had Liam's number. They had to get it from Willow. Victor had no choice but to call her again. Willow, what's Liam's number? My phone fell and broke. I can't find the call history. After getting the number, Victor dialed again, but the call wouldn't go through. Victor tried from Ethan's phone, same result. That brat. Forget him. Let's get Ethan to the hospital. Look at this cut. It's at least a centimeter long. Ethan smiled obediently. Thank you, Dad. At the Luo Group headquarters, in the executive conference room, all the top managers sat in terrified silence. Every meeting felt like facing a firing squad. If it weren't for the generous pay, they would have quit long ago. And today, Miss Luo's face was so cold it could freeze water. Lorelei toyed with a pen, a murderous aura swirling around her. Her assistant had reported to her at noon that Willow Luo wanted to get her internship certificate. Willow was an intern at a subsidiary of the Luo Group, a situation Lorelei had, of course, arranged. Lorelei had long since taken full control of the surveillance on everyone connected to Liam, especially Willow. Liam went to see Willow yesterday, and today, Lorelei received news about Willow again. And getting an internship certificate meant the new semester was about to start. Lorelei was already considering making her disappear forever. If Willow were gone, would Liam break down, or would he stay by her side? It was a gamble Lorelei didn't want to take, a gamble Lorelei didn't dare to take. A notification pinged from her phone. It was the special alert she had set. Lorelei paused and picked up her device. Then, all the executives witnessed the impossible. The corner of Lorelei's ice-cold lips slowly curved into a smile. Damn, Miss Luo can smile. What kind of message has this much power? They were all dumbfounded. This concludes the meeting, she announced. Everyone gets a $10,000 bonus this month. With that, she stood up and left, leaving a room full of stunned executives. The boss was suddenly satisfied with their work and gave them a bonus? This was unbelievable. Lorelei walked back to her office, her eyes never leaving her phone screen. Her assistant, Monica Luo, followed behind, her face a mask of shock. The only person who could affect Miss Luo's mood like this. Could it be young Master Liam? Sitting in her office, Lorelei stared at the few words on her screen, unable to calm her racing heart. Liam, miss you. When are you coming back? After a moment, Lorelei replied with a single word. Soon. Then Lorelei looked at her assistant. I'm going home. You handle the rest of the work. Monica was stunned. Yes, Miss Luo. The boss was leaving work early. Oh my God. On the way home, Lorelei received a message from Franklin, the butler. Franklin had sent her a detailed transcript of Liam's phone call with the Lin family. As Lorelei read it, her eyes grew brighter and brighter, a sight that would have sent her employees into another state of shock. Liam said, Wife. Home. Back in the private Manners villa, Liam immediately sprang into action after receiving her message. He headed for the kitchen. He was going to make dinner for Lorelei. It was one of the few ways he could show his devotion right now. He wasn't sure if he was allowed to leave the manor, but he didn't ask. At this time in his past life, he had been chained to the bed. Now, at least, the chains were gone. He wouldn't ask for more. He would take it slow. Besides, a comfortable villa like this, with servants to cater to his every need, and a beautiful, bewitching wife. Wasn't this the pinnacle of life? Why had he been so foolish as to want his old life back? His childhood had been decent enough, but everything changed after his mother died. With a stepmother came a stepfather, and a stepbrother who was constantly trying to get him killed. He had no status in the Lin family. No one had ever done anything for him. He even had to work part-time jobs to pay his own college tuition. Compared to his stepbrother Ethan's life, it was heaven and hell. Wasn't a wealthy tycoon for a wife a better deal? The cooks and maids in the villa were terrified when they saw Liam heading for the kitchen. The kitchen was a dangerous place. If Liam got even the slightest scratch, they would all be finished. Everyone knew how the miss felt about Mr. Liam. Even if he blew up the entire manor, the bomb and the manor would be at fault, not him. But no matter how much they pleaded, Liam was unmoved. It's fine, he said. I just want to make dinner for Lorelei. I'm not trying to take your jobs. The head chef was on the verge of tears. Young Master Liam, this isn't about our jobs, it's about our lives. If anything happens to you, my life is over. Liam made a concession. How about this? You stand by and watch. If I mess up, you take over. How does that sound? The chef, after some thought, reluctantly agreed. It was the best he was going to get. Watching Liam's skilled knife work and confident handling of the stove, the chef was privately astonished. A young master like him, who had lived a life of luxury, actually knew how to cook? They had no idea that in the Lin household, Liam had been the one to cook, not a maid. Just as Liam finished preparing an impressive 8-course meal with a soup, Lorelei returned. Seeing the main hall empty, she immediately went upstairs to the bedroom. She pushed open the door to find it empty. Her face instantly turned cold. No one here. Last time no one was here, Liam had run away, and Franklin had taken all the bodyguards and servants out to search for him. No one again. Could it be? Liam, why can't you be good? Lorelei took out her phone, opened an unknown app, and checked his location. He was in the villa? Puzzled, she saw Franklin rushing out from the kitchen. Miss, you're back. Where's Liam? Young Master Liam is in the kitchen. He said he wanted to cook for you personally. Lorelei froze for a moment before her expression slowly returned to normal. Franklin wiped a bead of sweat from his brow, thankful he had spoken quickly enough to save his own life. Miss, the young master is almost finished. Please, come downstairs. Lorelei gave a cool nod, went into the bedroom to change, and then headed for the dining room. Liam had the maids bring the dishes to the table and followed them out of the kitchen, where he saw Lorelei. For some reason, the sight of her filled him with an overwhelming joy, as if he were looking at the most wonderful thing in the world. It was a feeling he had never had before. Liam opened his arms and walked towards her. Lorelei stood there, stunned, as he embraced her and then planted a kiss on her forehead. A welcome home kiss, he said. I made dinner. Let's eat together. Okay. A glimmer of starlight appeared in Lorelei's eyes. Was this what it felt like to have Liam? Could it be that he wasn't faking it? But the thought seemed impossible, and her expression cooled once more. Liam was utterly confused. Was she a professional face changer or something? Before cooking, Liam had asked the butler about Lorelei's dietary restrictions. He didn't want to be like one of those idiots in novels who accidentally gives the female lead an allergic reaction. After learning that Lorelei had no restrictions, he had gone all out. No restrictions meant that even if he made a pile of garbage, she wouldn't get angry. And his cooking skills were actually quite good. Lorelei, now in comfortable loungewear, was an alluring sight. Images from the previous night flashed through Liam's mind, and his face flushed red. After Lorelei sat down, Liam took the seat right beside her. He lit the candles he had prepared earlier and asked a maid to dim the lights. This move astonished Franklin and the other servants. In the past, Liam had always sat as far away from Lorelei as possible. Now he was sitting right next to her and had even lit romantic candles. The change was immense. Lorelei was very pleased with his behavior. She felt that if Liam could keep up this act forever, it would be just fine. Liam served Lorelei a bowl of beauty-enhancing soup, then poured one for himself. His wife needed to maintain her beauty, and so did he. Otherwise, what would he do if she left him when he got old and wrinkled? Franklin quickly intervened. Miss, that soup looks delicious. Why don't you let me have a bowl first? He was genuinely afraid Liam had poisoned the food. Lorelei shot him a cold glare. Franklin knew he had overstepped. He had no right to question Liam. No one in this house did. Franklin even began to wonder if Liam's status in this house was even higher than the miss herself. There's no need, Lorelei said coldly. Liam made this. I trust him. Even if it were deadly poison, if Liam told her to drink it, she would do so without hesitation. Franklin looked awkward. Liam, however, smiled calmly. He didn't blame the butler. The concern was perfectly reasonable. Let me go first, then. Before anyone could react, he quickly took 2 sips of the soup, then took a bite from every single dish. The flavors were quite good. Lorelei should like it. Franklin gave an embarrassed smile. I was being presumptuous. My apologies. Liam gestured that it was fine, but Lorelei coldly added, You've lost your bonus for this month. Franklin's eyes widened in horror. That was worse than killing him. Liam generously came to his rescue. Lorelei, Franklin was just concerned for your safety. Let's forget about docking his bonus. Here, try the soup. It wasn't that Liam was getting arrogant, but Franklin was a decent person, and he had acted out of concern for Lorelei, so he felt he should speak up. Lorelei nodded. Franklin wanted to thank Liam profusely, but seeing Lorelei's slight frown, he quickly shut his mouth. He shouldn't be interrupting the master and mistress's dinner. Liam then sat quietly, watching as Lorelei elegantly spooned the soup he had personally made to her lips. The warm, romantic candlelight made her even more captivating. He felt like he could never get enough of her stunning face. What are you looking at? She asked. I'm looking at how beautiful you are, Liam replied. Lorelei's brow furrowed. Who's prettier, me or Willow Lu? Was this a trick question? Liam answered. I must have been blind before. To have such a beautiful woman in front of me and not even see it. Now that my sight is restored, I need to look at you more. I need to look at you for a lifetime. But I do have one regret. The first part of his sentence made Lorelei's heart flutter, but the last part made it sink with uncertainty. What did he regret? Regretting that he had given himself to her last night? Liam felt the air around him suddenly turn ice cold and was horrified. Why did she get angry all of a sudden? Could it be? He quickly added, I regret not discovering your beauty sooner. I could just kill myself for it. Sure enough, the icy aura around Lorelei dissipated, and the curve of her lips grew more pronounced. Franklin's eyes widened. Was young Master Liam flirting? Heavens, it had been so long since the miss had smiled like that. As Lorelei's shoulders shook with a silent laugh, a drop of soup trickled from the corner of her mouth. She naturally reached up to wipe it away, just as Liam's hand reached out to do the same. Their hands touched. Despite their recent intimacy, both of them froze, their hearts pounding in unison. They let the droplet of soup slide down her chin and fall, the moment hanging in the air, ripe with suggestion. Liam pulled his hand back, a little flustered. I'm sorry. I just wanted to wipe it for you. Lorelei's command was soft but firm. Feed me. Liam blinked. Lorelei repeated. Feed me my dinner. Liam stared at her ruby-red lips and swallowed hard. Okay. He scooped up a spoonful of soup from his own bowl and slowly brought it to her mouth. Franklin's heart skipped a beat. He knew the miss had a severe aversion to germs and men, and young Master Liam was feeding her soup with his own spoon. He slowly pulled out his phone and typed a message. Prepare a crystal coffin. Then he watched, stunned, as his miss opened her mouth and drank the soup, perhaps even licking the spoon. Yes, it must have been a hallucination. Lorelei's cool voice drifted over. Franklin, would you also like to join our candlelight dinner? A chill ran down Franklin's spine. He shook his head frantically, immediately signaled for all the staff to leave, and followed them out, pulling out his phone again to send another message. Cancel the coffin. Looking at Lorelei's glistening lips, Liam gently fed her. The feeling was deeply satisfying for Lorelei, and she gradually lost herself in it. Liam, are you really not lying to me? Even if you are, I'll accept it. Lorelei had no appetite, but since Liam had made this, she wanted to taste everything, to eat as much as she could. For someone with an eating disorder, this was unprecedented. The meal lasted a long time, moving from the dining room to the bedroom. Just as Lorelei straddled Liam, his phone rang. He glanced at the caller ID. Goddess. Damn it. He had forgotten to block this witch. Lorelei saw it too, and the temperature in the room dropped by 8 degrees. Liam instinctively hung up and was about to kiss Lorelei again when the phone rang once more. Just as he was about to hang up and turn it off, she spoke. Answer it. A stampede of 1,000 angry beasts thundered through Liam's mind. Willow, you'd better be smart and not say anything to upset my wife. He answered the call. Liam, where are you? Before Liam could speak, Lorelei's domineering presence washed over him. He started to speak. I'm with, but his words were cut off by a muffled groan. On the other end, Willow was confused. What was that sound? Liam, are you there? Are you okay? Who was that woman who took you away? Just as Liam was about to curse her out, he was met with Lorelei's provocative question whispered in his ear. Liam, who is the woman you love most? You? I only love you. He gasped out, followed by a different kind of moan. Willow was intimately familiar with that sound, and she panicked. Liam, what are you doing? Why is there a woman's voice with you? The pressure from Lorelei was becoming suffocating. He wanted to scream, so he pushed her away. The action nearly lit Lorelei's fuse. He barked into the phone. I'm with my wife. If you have nothing to say, then get lost. If you have a problem, then go die. With that, he was once again enveloped by Lorelei, and a much louder, more piercing sound filled the air. It was a sound of pleasure, of provocation, and of utter contempt. Willow couldn't take it anymore. Liam, I never knew you were this kind of person. I was wrong about you. You've disappointed me so much, sob sob sob. Then she hung up. Lorelei smiled, a smile Liam had never seen before. Was it demonic? Sarcastic? A bitter smile? As time passed, Liam experienced the truest version of Lorelei. He cursed himself for being so blind, deaf, and stupid before. So what was it he truly wanted? Lorelei, I'm afraid one day I'll actually die in here. Can we please try to control ourselves? In his past life, Lorelei had always been in control, and it seemed this life was no different. He was supposed to be the man, after all. Lorelei was very pleased with how Liam had treated Willow. Crazy? But what if I just can't control it? It feels like only by merging into one like this do you truly belong to me. If you really were to die beneath me, I would die with you without a second thought. You would still be mine in the underworld. Liam fell silent. He knew Lorelei would absolutely do it. What was so special about him? Why was she so fixated on him? Liam, I'm so scared. I'm afraid that tomorrow you'll turn around and leave me. So, even if you're lying to me, can you keep lying forever? A pang of pain hit Liam's heart. Even if she thought he was lying, she was willing to accept it. What kind of twisted love was this? Even your false affections, I treasure them like pearls. But Liam was slowly growing to like this feeling. In just 2 short nights since his rebirth, he was already becoming obsessed. Lorelei, whether you believe me or not, I will always be with you, and I will always protect you. We will always be like this. Trust me. Okay. Lorelei's eyes shimmered, but she knew she couldn't cry. In this world, anyone could cry, but not her. To cry was to show weakness, and the weak get trampled. She had to be the strongest version of herself. Only then could she protect her Liam. And if Liam ever stopped loving her, ever left her, she would turn him into a specimen and carry him with her, or burn him to ashes and eat them. That way, they could still be together for eternity. The wildness continued. Liam was numb to it all. In the morning, when Liam woke up, Lorelei was gone again. Did this woman even need to sleep? After breakfast, Liam walked into the walk-in closet he had never entered before. It was filled with luxury clothing he had never even glanced at, because he had never wanted anything from Lorelei. Things were different now. He belonged to her completely, so he might as well enjoy the perks. Each piece of clothing was like a work of art. He found an outfit that looked decent and changed into it. Looking at himself in the mirror, he had to admit that clothes really do make the man. The only flaw was his messy hair. He thought for a moment and sent a message to Lorelei. Now, he wanted to report his every move to her, not out of fear, but to manage her delicate emotions. To the outside world, she was ruthless and decisive, but Liam knew how sensitive she was inside. Wife, I'm thinking of getting a haircut and then stopping by the Lynn house to pick up some things. A reply came back quickly. I can have a stylist come to the manor. Is that okay? Liam replied. Okay. On the other end of the line, Lorelei stared at the message on her phone, dazed. Wife. She liked that name. After a moment, she changed his contact name from Liam to husband. Soon, the stylist arrived at the manor and, following Liam's instructions, gave him a hairstyle worthy of a billionaire. Franklin, can I borrow a car? You couldn't exactly hail a cab from the manor. Franklin smiled. Young Master Liam, you jest. The cars in the garage are all yours to drive. The miss gave them to you. Liam suddenly remembered that Lorelei had given him many things, but he had never even looked at them. In a storage cabinet in the walk-in closet were property deeds, car titles, and a black card with an unknown limit. All right, then please arrange for a few bodyguards to accompany me. Of course, young Master Liam. Stepping into the garage was like walking into a luxury auto show grander than any in the world. Liam chose a Koenigsegg 1:1. He had never even seen such a magnificent car, and now he was going to drive it to a fight. Soon, a super luxury motorcade was cruising through the streets of Kingston, and every other vehicle on the road gave it a wide berth. Franklin's car followed closely behind Liam's. He absolutely could not let Liam escape again, especially after witnessing how important he was to his miss. This was the man who could make her smile. He couldn't be lost. Before long, Liam parked smoothly outside the Lynn family villa and, with 10 bodyguards in tow, stormed the house. Inside, Ethan had just been brought home from the hospital, and the family of 3 was laughing and chatting. Dad, are you really not going to do anything about my brother? You should contact him. If he's not dead yet, we can at least ask the kidnappers to leave us a body. He's my beloved brother, after all. Yes, honey. Ethan is right. Liam is my son too. You should talk to the kidnappers. Ask them to leave us a body, so we can have a proper burial, right? Victor Lynn frowned, as if the mere thought of his rebellious son gave him a headache. Liam had always been an obedient son. Why did he curse him out last time? If he hadn't, maybe he would have tried to save him, but now? Forget that ungrateful whelp. I'm his father. Even if he comes back, he'll have to kneel and beg for my forgiveness before I let him back into this house. Melinda looked worried, but inwardly she was delighted. Victor's attitude toward Liam had reached a point of no return. A loud bang suddenly echoed as the villa's front door was kicked open. Old bastard. Your real daddy is here to see you. Hearing the familiar voice, the 3 inside froze. Seeing Liam, Victor flew into a rage, stood up, and whipped off his belt. You little bastard, you dare to come back? If you don't kneel and beg for forgiveness today, I'll beat you to death. But before Victor could even swing, several of Liam's bodyguards rushed forward and pinned him to the ground. The move shocked Ethan and his mother. Ethan cried out, Brother, you're back. I missed you so much. When I heard you were kidnapped, I couldn't eat or sleep. I just wanted to save you. But why did you bring outsiders to bully Dad as soon as you returned? Please let my dear father go. Melinda added, Liam, you're back. Let your father go. He's been terribly worried these past 2 days, constantly trying to contact the kidnappers to save you. Liam was speechless. With a single look from him, Ethan and his mother were also pinned to the ground. A maid rushed out from her room, saw it was Liam, and immediately froze. Young Master. Hello, Mrs. Wong. Mrs. Wong was one of the few people in this house Liam didn't dislike. She had helped him out quite a bit in the past. Victor was furious. You little bastard, let me go. I'm your father. Liam slowly crouched down, took the belt from his hand, flipped it around, and whipped him hard with the heavy buckle. Ah! A pained scream, and Victor's head was bleeding. Old man, remember this. From now on, when you see me, don't you dare say you're the father. And every time we meet, you will kneel and kowtow to me. Otherwise, I'll whip you just like I did today. A series of agonizing screams filled the air. Ethan and his mother were stunned. When he was tired and satisfied, Liam flexed his muscles and slowly turned his gaze to Ethan and Melinda. Disgusting. When they met his gaze, there was no fear, only a venomous look mixed with a hint of excitement. Yes, that was it. Excitement. Liam spoke slowly. Mr. Sue, it's all yours now. With that, Liam went upstairs, back to his old storage room. A top lawyer, Kevin Sue, stepped forward from behind him and handed a document to the wailing Victor on the floor. What is this? Kevin Sue replied. This is a document from Mr. Liam Lin to sever all ties with you. Please sign it. Victor was stunned into silence. When Liam came back downstairs, Victor still hadn't signed. Seeing the suitcase in Liam's hand, he suppressed his towering rage and asked, You ungrateful son, are you serious? Liam nodded. What do you think? Victor laughed, a laugh of pure rage. Haha, fine, fine. You ungrateful son, you remember this. You will never set foot in the Lin family home again. Even if you get on your knees and beg me, I will never acknowledge you as my son again. Liam smiled. It's a deal. Victor, furious, signed his name on the document. Ethan and Melinda exchanged a meaningful look. Liam took the document and looked at the smiling through their grief mother and son with amusement. By the way, I'm taking my shares with me. The shares in the Su Lin group were left to me by my mother. You won't get a single penny from me. His words stunned them. It seemed they had only just remembered that fact. Ungrateful son. Liam, what do you need so many shares for? Hurry up and transfer them to me, unconditionally. After you graduate from college, Dad will transfer them back to you. Ethan chimed in. That's right, brother. Dad is the chairman. Leaving the shares with him will give him more authority in the company. Melinda added, Liam, be a good boy. Listen to your father. Transfer the shares to his name, and let him manage them for you. Liam felt like he was going to be sick. How had he never realized how disgusting this family was? He waved the severance document. We're strangers now. You cursed at me, so I'm angry. As a means of self-defense, I need to beat you up to feel better. His words even threw his lawyer, Kevin Sue, for a loop. Leave them breathing, don't beat them to death. Soon, the three of them were bruised and swollen. Melinda and Ethan had lost their magnanimous facades and were now cursing at Liam. You ungrateful wolf. I'm your mother. I raised you for so many years, and you have people beat me? You're a monster. Liam retorted. My mother's name is Serena Sue, not Melinda Luo. Ethan cried. Brother, tell them to stop hitting me. Boo-hoo-hoo. It hurts so much. Liam said flatly. You're not my brother either. I don't have one. Victor, the father, also began to beg. Liam, tell them to stop. Dad was wrong. Please stop hitting me. He had no backbone at all. Liam felt ashamed for him. In his past life, when he was tortured by Lorelei, he had never begged for mercy. Yet Victor was begging after a few simple punches. So, who's the father here? Victor, in agony, gritted his teeth and said, You're my father. Liam smiled. Right. Since we've severed ties, some things need to be clarified. When I was 13, my mother passed away and left me 30% of the shares in the Su Lin group. I'm 23 now, so you owe me 10 years of dividends. I've checked the company's financial reports. You need to give me $30 million. For beating you today, I'll compensate you $1,000, based on the highest treatment standards at a pet hospital. In the 10 years I lived in the Lin household, I spent a total of $1,800. So, you still owe me $29,997,200. Remember to deposit it into my account. Victor was in utter shock. What? Where would I get that much money? He wasn't lying. He really couldn't produce that much cash. Although the Su Lin group was valued at $300 million, it was impossible to free up $30 million in liquid assets. Even if he couldn't touch it. It was the company's money, and he only held a 21% stake, less than Liam. And even if he had the $30 million, he would never give it to Liam. I don't care, Liam said. You spent my money. My lawyer will be in touch. If you can't pay up, I'll send you to jail. Ungrateful son. Haven't I supported you all these years? Heh, didn't we just calculate that? The day after my mom died, you brought your mistress home. From then on, you gave me $30 a month until I was 18. That totals $1,800. After that, I never spent a single cent of your family's money, did I? Victor was stunned. He hadn't realized Liam had cost the family so little. He thought about it, and it seemed to be true. A flicker of guilt sparked in his heart. But you still ate and wore clothes here for all those years. Victor thought that at the very least, Liam's food and clothing were paid for by him. I ate at school, Liam said. Even at home, I was the one who did the cooking, cheaper than a maid. And after cooking, I was often punished by not being allowed to eat. I wore a school uniform. I didn't get a single new piece of clothing before I was 18. After I turned 18, I bought my own clothes with money from my part-time jobs. So, I guess we can just add child abuse to the list. Victor was completely shocked. He supposed he had been a bit harsh on his son. Stop daydreaming. Not a single cent of the dividends can be missing. If even 1 cent is missing, my lawyers will send you to prison. And they'll add the charge of child abuse while they're at it. With that, Liam turned and walked away, leaving the wailing family behind in the villa. Ungrateful son. You ungrateful son. Liam thought to himself. So satisfying. So satisfying. Leaving the villa, Liam glanced at a pink bicycle parked by the door. It was his old mode of transportation, which he had bought with his own earnings from part-time jobs. while Ethan's was a luxury car worth $100,000. As for why the bike was pink, because Willow liked pink, but Willow had never once ridden it. Smash it. Back in the car, he drove to Celestial Plaza, Kingston's most famous luxury shopping mall. Inside, Liam was bewildered. A cheap-looking bag for $18,000? A small bottle of perfume for $3,800? Would a pile of dog crap cost $88 here? Although he was from the Lin family, he had never shopped here because they never gave him any money. Before he was 18, he got $30 a month. After 18, not a dime. They called it raising a son frugally. Why didn't they raise Ethan that way? Damn, I was such a loser before. He looked at his phone, at his balance of only $1,300, and fell silent. This was all he had saved from an entire summer of working, plus various part-time jobs. He had originally planned to buy a bag for Willow. Now he wanted to buy a gift for Lorelei. He just never imagined things here would be so expensive. Even so, Liam had no intention of using the black card Lorelei had given him. It wasn't about pride. He wanted the gift for her to be bought with money he had earned himself. As if sensing his predicament, the sales staff began to ignore him. Just then, Franklin walked over. "Young Master Liam, have you found something you like? Shall I have them wrap up the whole store for you?" Liam shook his head. "No, thank you. I want to buy Lorelei's gift with my own money." Liam finally chose a bracelet. The price was exactly $1,300. After paying, the saleswoman gave him a polite smile. Holding the bracelet, Liam imagined how it would look on Lorelei. "Lorelei, this is the first gift I've ever given you. It's not expensive, but it's everything I have. When I make more money, I'll buy you all the best things in the world." Suddenly, a wave of unease washed over Liam. According to novel plots, something bad was about to happen, right, Liam? Hearing Willow's familiar voice, Liam's face darkened. Damn it, what bad luck. If Lorelei saw this, wouldn't he be in for another beating? What he didn't know was that Lorelei, having just received the news, was already rushing over. Willow and her best friend, Haley, appeared at his side. Seeing Willow again, Liam realized he felt nothing for her, not even a single fond memory. His mind was filled with the image of her from his past life, turned into a beauty vase and performing in Southeast Asia. A shiver ran down his spine. Lorelei really was ruthless. But no matter how ruthless you are, in my heart, you will always be my beautiful Lorelei. Liam, it really is you. Who was that woman who took you? And why did you block all my contacts? Do you know how worried your aunt and uncle were? Haley's eyes immediately fell on the beautiful gift box in Liam's hand. Liam, is this for our Willow? She said, reaching to grab it. Liam snatched it back. This was a gift for his darling wife. He had to guard it well. Haley got angry. Liam, what's your problem? Do you know who I am? I'm Willow's best friend. How do you expect to win her over with an attitude like that? Willow bit her lip, waiting for Liam's response, playing the part of the pitiful victim perfectly. She noticed that Liam looked incredibly handsome today. His bangs were gone. He had a new hairstyle, and his clothes suited him perfectly. The woman from the other day was far more beautiful than her, making even her, the campus queen of Kingston University, feel inferior. And that phone call last night. No, she had to be with Liam. That was the only way she could help her cousin Ethan get Liam's shares. And even if that failed, given how much Liam loved her, being with him wouldn't be so bad. He was handsome enough not to be an embarrassment. Our Willow is so beautiful, so even if you're a little handsome, it's useless. In today's society, you can't win a girl over without sincerity. Don't you get it? Haley continued. Now, if you're willing to buy a handbag for both me and Willow, I'll persuade her to give you a chance to get close to her. Willow gently tugged on Liam's sleeve. Liam, I'm only asking because I care so much about you. Even if that woman likes you, and even if something happened between you two, I believe you were forced. Can't we go back to how things were before? This entire scene was witnessed by Lorelei, who had just arrived. Her eyes were like daggers, fixed on them. She saw Liam execute a sharp pivot, deftly dodging Willow's grasping hand. Willow, if you've got water in your brain, don't drag me down with you. Get lost. Willow froze. Haley was furious. Liam, who do you think you are? Our beautiful Willow is willing to forgive you, and not only do you not appreciate it, you even curse at her. Liam had to laugh. Beautiful? My wife is way more beautiful than her. She has the looks, she has the money, and she's good to me. And I love her more than anyone. What makes you so confident that you can use beauty as a weapon in front of me? Willow took a staggering step back, unable to believe the words coming from Liam's mouth. She wanted her old Liam back, the gentle, considerate, devoted Liam who worshipped the ground she walked on. Liam, you said that woman is your... Lorelei's murderous aura vanished in an instant. She stopped in her tracks, watching quietly. The sudden shift made her assistant, Monica, nearly have a heart attack. Mr. Liam, you finally see our Miss Luo's true heart. The heavens have finally opened their eyes. Liam sneered. Willow, don't be so unconvinced. You know full well my wife is more beautiful than you. And even if she were hideous, I would still only love her. Willow was incredulous. Why? Liam's face softened with a warm, reminiscent look. Because no matter how much I love her, it will never compare to how much she loves me. Willow pressed. Then what am I? And what about all that time you spent chasing me? What are you? In a deck of cards, you're a joker. In a circus, you're the main act. You're the star of your own tragedy that no one is watching. You're a walking punchline. Willow and Haley were speechless. Franklin suddenly stepped forward to add, the clown of clowns. Willow couldn't take it anymore. She was furious, truly furious. Even Liam sleeping with another woman hadn't made her this angry. Liam, how dare you? Call me a clown. As if remembering something, Liam said, well, not exactly. You could be considered a beauty, in a way. At these words, the entire area fell silent. Lorelei turned back into an iceberg. Monica slapped a hand to her forehead, mourning for Liam in advance. My wife could turn you into a human swine, put you in a vase, and send you to Southeast Asia to be a beauty. You've seen those stories, right? That kind of beauty. Watching this, the corner of Lorelei's mouth twitched upwards. Liam's idea is not bad. Her assistant Monica's heart kept stopping and starting again. This young master could actually provoke such a huge emotional response from Miss Luo. It made sense. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been ordered to report on his every move. Liam's words terrified Willow. She knew he was trying to scare her, but a chill ran down her spine nonetheless. Liam continued, all right, I have to go home to my wife. Don't show your face in front of me again. I don't want my wife to get the wrong idea. Also, I have never liked you. Not before, and certainly not now. As for all those things I gave you in the past, just consider them fed to a dog. If he still had the receipts, he would have demanded them all back. Willow's eyes filled with tears, looking like an innocent flower hurt by a scumbag. Liam was utterly disgusted by her act. He really wanted to kill her, but murder was illegal. And besides, wasn't slow torture more interesting than a quick end? Liam was startled by his own thoughts. When had he become so twisted? Well, you become who you surround yourself with. Liam turned his head and froze. When did Lorelei get here? Oh no, she saw him with Willow. Would she misunderstand? Who could understand his plight? It was just a damn coincidence. Wife, I swear I have nothing to do with Willow. If I'm lying, may my entire family die a horrible death. A murderous aura flickered in the air. Monica had already started having the bodyguards clear the area. Lorelei walked slowly up to Willow. Two sharp slaps echoed through the space. Get lost, Lorelei hissed. Stay away from my Liam, or I'll throw both of you into the ocean to feed the sharks. Willow and Haley were completely stunned by Lorelei's powerful presence. They couldn't even speak. Though their legs trembled, they managed to stay upright as they clutched their faces and ran away in disgrace. The stunningly beautiful woman before them exuded a feeling of death, robbing them of the courage to even speak. It was as if she said she would throw them in the sea to feed the sharks. She would absolutely do it. The store employees were all trembling. Celestial Plaza belonged to the Luo group, and wasn't this woman the head of the company? That young man from before was actually connected to Miss Luo? They hoped they hadn't offended him. Lorelei's gaze fell on the box in Liam's hand. You bought that for Willow? Liam immediately declared his loyalty. It's not for Willow. It's a gift for you. I'm sorry, my means are limited. This bracelet was bought with all the money I have. If I'm lying, may my entire family die. As he spoke, he opened the packaging. Just like that, the murderous aura around Lorelei vanished. She looked down at the delicate bracelet as if it were the most beautiful work of art in the world. Did Liam mean he spent all of his assets to choose a gift for her? She slowly held out her hand. Put it on for me. Liam did as he was told, carefully fastening the inexpensive bracelet onto her slender wrist. Lorelei was very satisfied. Transfer ownership of this entire plaza to Liam's name. Monica's eyes widened, but she quickly recovered. Yes, Miss Luo. Liam didn't really want it, but he said nothing. He knew he couldn't refuse a gift from Lorelei. Doing so would only result in a creative punishment. The countless assets in the closet were proof of that. It's beautiful. I love it, Lorelei said. To be honest, seeing Liam with Willow moments ago had nearly sent her into a rage. Liam was surprised at how easy Lorelei was to appease. A few words and a small gift, and her anger was gone, just like a young girl. If anyone else heard that thought, they would probably die of shock. The ruthless, decisive Lorelei was a young girl. You must be joking. Liam, kiss me. Liam stiffened and looked around. Huh, where did everyone go? Where was Franklin? The bodyguards? The assistant? The staff? He naturally leaned down and kissed her. Lorelei wrapped her arms tightly around him. Liam, why? Why are you lying to me? Let me enjoy this moment. If you run away later, I really will go insane. After a long while, Lorelei's eyes grew hazy. Liam, I want you. Liam was startled. Here? Can we go home? Lorelei nodded. They went to the parking garage, and Lorelei pulled Liam into her custom Maybach. The car he had driven would be taken care of by someone else. The car started, and the convoy drove out of the garage. Even in the bustling traffic, all cars made way for the Maybach and the Koenigsegg. The vehicles drove into the manor. The driver and Monica discreetly got out, with no intention of calling for the people inside the car. No one wanted to die. The people in the car had not yet emerged. Liam, call me by my name. Lorelei, not that one. Wife, say it again. Baby. Lorelei liked this new Liam. This version of him was very cute. The car filled with a romantic atmosphere. Lorelei's eyes were fixed on Liam. Why? Why what? Why are you suddenly so good to me? Because I love you. Lorelei didn't believe him, but she didn't want to pursue it endlessly. She was afraid of what desperate reason she might uncover. If Liam left her, she would truly go mad. She would die. How many gifts did you give Willow? A jolt went through Liam. He couldn't understand how her thoughts could leap so quickly. Was this a trick question? I've given gifts to many people in my life. My brothers, my best friends, my classmates. But you are the only one I've given a gift to as the person I truly love. The answer was a passing grade in Lorelei's book. Remember, from now on, you can only give gifts to one woman. Yes, my queen, Liam replied. When they finally got out of the car, Franklin immediately had the servants prepare dinner. Liam took the initiative, feeding Lorelei spoon by spoon, chopstick by chopstick. Only after the little demon was fed did Liam begin to eat. Late at night, after his diligent labors, Liam fell asleep. Lorelei lay coiled around him, as if trying to merge him into her own body. Liam, is it because of her body that you've chosen to stay? If only it were that simple. After a long while, Lorelei shook her head. Could it be that because she had people watching him, everything that happened during the day was just an act? His severing ties with the Lynn family, drawing a line with Willow, was it all to protect them? Because Liam knew she might use them as leverage to keep him by her side? No, Liam, you can't do this to me. The more she thought, the more terrified she became. A cold sweat broke out all over her body. She slowly got up. As she left the room, she couldn't help but look back at Liam. She walked alone towards the secret room. Sometime later, in a daze, Liam thought he saw a stunningly beautiful woman applying something to her skin. The next morning, when Liam went downstairs, he saw Franklin and said, a little awkwardly, Franklin, that restorative soup? Franklin beamed. It's been ready for you for a while, young master. Liam felt a bit embarrassed, as if it implied he was inadequate. It was really his miss who was insatiable. Though he enjoyed it too, he knew this would finish him off sooner or later. When he entered the dining room, he found Lorelei was already there. You don't have work today? Lorelei nodded. It's the weekend. I can handle anything urgent from home. For some reason, Liam felt that something was off about her. Feeding the little demon had become a habit for him now. Each time, a sense of satisfaction welled up from the bottom of his heart. My wife is so elegant when she eats. My wife is so beautiful and sensual when she drinks soup. The way my wife looks at me is so captivating. Everything about her was perfect. The weekend was wonderful and warm. Liam, having had a taste, was now addicted. This continued until the evening of the next day. Lorelei asked, want a drink? Liam was confused. All right. If his wife wanted a drink, he would risk his life to accompany her, even though he was a lightweight and had no idea why they were drinking. Lorelei got up and took a bottle from the wine cabinet. A bottle of premium liquor. White spirits. Oh well, as long as you're happy. On her way back to the table, a sharp pain shot through Lorelei's leg. She stumbled, and the bottle of liquor flew from her hand. Liam, with lightning-fast reflexes, spun around, catching Lorelei's waist with one arm and snatching the falling bottle with the other. Careful you. The intimate gesture made Lorelei's heart skip a beat, a feeling only Liam could give her. You dog, she murmured, hold me steady. A dog? Fair enough, he thought. He had been a real dog in his past life. After a few glasses, Liam started to feel hazy, a torrent of words wanting to spill out. Lorelei's eyes narrowed. She knew Liam couldn't hold his liquor. One glass after another, until the entire bottle was empty, Liam's world was spinning. Wife, are you troubled by something? Why are you flying in the sky? Lorelei stood up and swept him into her arms in a princess carry. Liam curled into her embrace. Hee. Wife, you're so strong. Are you going to the Olympics? Why are there two rabbits running in front of my eyes? She placed him on the bed in the bedroom. Liam shivered. Wife, I admit it, I can't go on. You've drained me dry. We do it at least 10 times a day. What kind of person can handle that? Hearing his drunken rant, Lorelei fell silent for a moment. But the way he kept calling her wife was incredibly comforting. It seemed she would have to get him drunk more often. Liam, do you still like Willow Luo? The question jolted Liam upright. Willow Luo? Is that a person or a ghost? Are you Willow Luo? He stared at Lorelei, his eyes growing unfocused. Lorelei's face grew colder. After a moment, she adopted a saccharine tone. It's me, Liam. Don't you like me anymore? As she spoke, she reached out to steady him, afraid he would fall over. But Liam recoiled as if he'd touched something foul. Don't touch me. I'm afraid of getting dirty. If I get dirty, Lorelei won't like me anymore. Lorelei? She liked that name too. In fact, she liked any name Liam called her. Who is Lorelei? Liam slurred. I told you not to touch me. I'll have to wash again. Lorelei is, of course, my wife, my master, my everything, the person I love most, and the person who loves me most in this world. Lorelei froze, unable to believe those words were coming from Liam's mouth. If he truly loved her so much, why had he never shown it before? Only disgust and fear? She studied him, her eyes narrowing. Was he not actually drunk? Or was this just an act? Liam, it's me, Willow. Do you really not love me anymore? Liam mumbled, I'd rather love a dog than love you. With that, he collapsed onto the bed. Watching him sleep peacefully, Lorelei gently undressed him and covered him with a blanket. Whether from exhaustion or the alcohol, Liam seemed to see his past life. He saw the woman who had gone mad for him. Liam, I've caught you. I want to marry you. Marry me. Why won't you listen? Why won't you marry me? If you won't be with me, then let's go to hell together. Liam, be a good boy, just a little more obedient, and it won't hurt. If you run again, I'll kill you. I'll carve out your heart and put it in my own body. Liam, please don't leave me. You're all I have. We're married now. Look, I'm wearing a wedding dress for you. Am I beautiful? To be able to die with you. It's wonderful. In the afterlife, will you spare me a glance? The final image was of the two of them in the crystal coffin. It was beautiful. So beautiful. So among all the lights in the world, there really was one waiting for me. This is our tomb, and also our home. His body felt strange, though, like it was about to explode. He opened his eyes. His head was pounding, and his bladder was about to burst. In the dim moonlight, he saw the beautiful, bewitching figure again, applying something to her skin. Why again? A soft groan escaped Liam's lips, and Lorelei's movements froze. Whether Liam's words were true or just an act, they had indeed stabilized her emotions significantly. Otherwise, she might have retreated to that secret room again and again, the room where only self-harm could calm her. All the wounds had to be treated. She couldn't leave any scars. Liam wouldn't like scars. She didn't want him to know, didn't want to reveal her wounds to him. She wanted to be the person he liked, but she knew she couldn't. Are you thirsty? Lorelei, what are you doing? An icy aura instantly filled the room, and Liam shivered. Could it be? He corrected himself. Wife, what are you doing? The chill vanished. This works better than an air conditioner, he thought. Nothing. I couldn't sleep. Liam got up to use the bathroom, and Lorelei poured him a glass of water. When he returned, his head was still splitting. He collapsed onto the bed, his mouth dry. Drink some water, Lorelei said. I want you to feed me. Liam's bold request made Lorelei pause. But without hesitation, she took a large gulp of water, held it in her mouth, and leaned in to kiss him. As the cool liquid passed to him, Liam's throat bobbed. He slowly opened his eyes. Is that enough? Not enough. More. Yes. The entire glass was transferred to him mouth to mouth before Liam seemed satisfied. If the lights had been on, he would have seen the blush on Lorelei's cheeks. But in the dim, hazy light, her beauty was even more palpable. Wife. You're so beautiful. A moment of silence. I know. With that, Liam fell back asleep. Lying beside him, Lorelei began to drift off as well. A woman with severe insomnia could only find sleep next to Liam. Only with him by her side could she grasp that fleeting sense of peace. If she could, Lorelei would use any means, no matter how cruel, to keep him with her. Liam, when will you truly come back to me? The next day, Liam woke up, once again a vibrant young man. It was one of the few times since his rebirth that he had truly rested. Lorelei was still at the manor today, handling work from home. She felt that she could happily live here with Liam until they were old, but she knew she couldn't. So now, she cherished every moment with him. If she stopped moving forward, countless people would climb over her corpse. At that point, Liam would surely meet a bad end. So she had to be ruthless, channeling all her inner cruelty towards her enemies, until no one could stand in her way. And then, she would give all her tenderness to Liam. Today, Kevin Sue, the lawyer, finally delivered Liam's new official papers, establishing him as an independent household. Mr. Lin, Victor Lin has shown no intention of paying the dividends. I've already begun preparations to file a lawsuit. I just need your final confirmation before proceeding, given that he is your biological father. Liam sneered. Besides contributing one sperm cell, he contributed nothing of a father's responsibility. Go ahead. Make the old man face reality. It would be best if you could send him to prison. With Liam's approval, Kevin Sue departed. The first thing Liam thought of upon receiving the papers was getting a marriage license with Lorelei. The idea startled him. Although Lorelei had worn a wedding dress for him in his past life, Liam sometimes couldn't tell if she simply wanted to possess him or if it was some other obsession. He had no idea if she even wanted to make their relationship public. He entered the study. Lorelei was staring at her computer, her expression blank. Liam tiptoed over, making no sound, until he was right beside her. Lorelei was staring at her computer, her expression blank. He leaned in and kissed her on the cheek. A good morning kiss. Startled by his sudden appearance, Lorelei felt her own heartbeat quicken, and a beautiful smile curved her lips. She turned and gave him a passionate French kiss. That's a good morning kiss. Liam scratched his head, thinking, my wife is certainly fierce. Lorelei asked, how are you feeling? Feeling great. It would be even better if the kiss lasted longer. I mean your body. My head's still a little foggy, but my body is definitely not weak. We could go another 300 rounds. Lorelei's eyes narrowed. Didn't you say we should exercise some restraint? Liam puffed out his chest. But I rested all night, didn't I? Also, I wanted to discuss something with you. It's about. He trailed off as he glanced at her computer screen and saw a grid of stunned, jaw-dropped faces staring back at him. Liam froze. The words, "let's go get married," died in his throat. He had only wanted to see what she was doing. He never imagined she was in a video conference. For goodness sake, you're a CEO, and you're holding meetings from home? Lorelei showed no sign of embarrassment, simply closing the laptop. Back in the conference room, the executives stared at the black screen where their boss's video feed had been. They were stunned into silence. Back in the villa, Liam was a little bewildered. It wasn't embarrassment, but a sense of awkwardness, and he worried he had caused trouble for Lorelei. "What did you want to discuss with me?" Lorelei asked. Liam had lost all inclination to talk about marriage. He stammered, "Did I cause any trouble for you?" Seeing his flustered state, Lorelei found it amusing and shook her head. "No. And I agree." "You agree to what?" Could she have known he got his papers and wanted to marry her? That seemed impossible. "I agree to let you come and go from the manor freely, on the condition that you don't run away. You must report your whereabouts to me at all times, come home to me every night, and you are forbidden from seeing Willow Luo. If you can't do these things, I will have Willow and your entire family captured and tortured." Liam blinked. There was a bright side to this. "Actually, that's not what I wanted to talk about. I was going to say, I got my official papers, and I want to go get a marriage license with you." Lorelei looked at him seriously, silent for a long moment. To her, a marriage license was irrelevant. What mattered was that Liam was by her side. As long as he was with her, she would be content, even if they never married. But she understood what a license meant to an ordinary person. Did Liam want to make their relationship public? Or was this a ploy to reassure her, to lull her into a false sense of security before he tried to escape? If they got married, would he acknowledge her as his wife in public? A storm of thoughts raged in Lorelei's mind. Seeing her prolonged silence, Liam's heart sank. She seemed unwilling, or perhaps she didn't want to go public. "If you don't want to, it's fine. I didn't mean anything by it. Before he could finish, Lorelei grabbed him by the collar and dragged him outside. Liam was stunned by her strength. Seriously? How does this seemingly slender woman have so much power? In his past life, he had trained extensively to fight against her, but he could never escape her grasp. He had always assumed it was because of her powerful subordinates. Now it seemed Lorelei herself was incredibly strong. She dragged him to the car, threw him inside, and got in after him. Without a word, she started the engine and sped off towards their destination. "I'm not going to get a license with you," she muttered. When they reappeared, they each held a new certificate in their hands. "I was just satisfying a small request of yours," she said, her tone nonchalant. That was it. It felt a bit like a dream. "Lorelei, I owe you a wedding. And a ring. I don't want your ring. I just want to be ravaged by you. Just pick a ring you like. When I make some money, I'll definitely buy you the most beautiful ring." Lorelei shook her head. "What's mine is yours. The black card I gave you has a $10 billion limit. If that's not enough, just tell me. All my money is yours to use. You can buy any ring you want with it." Liam was speechless. What was the limit? The black card. Liam knew the one. It was in the storage cabinet in the walk-in closet, along with countless other documents, titles for luxury cars, properties, gold bars, and bank cards. But he had never used it. "My wife is rich, beautiful, and willing to spend it all on me. Where else could I find a wife this good? Was I possessed in my past life? How could I have been so blind to how good she was? I really deserve to die. No, I want to earn the money to buy it myself." Feeling the air around Lorelei grow cold, Liam reached out and cupped her face. "Lorelei, look at me. I'm your man. You can't be the only one contributing to this family. I need to earn money too. If it's for my own use, I'll spend your money. There's no shame in spending my wife's money. But for you, I want to buy it with money I've earned myself." Only then did Lorelei's expression soften. "I see. And from now on, don't call me by my full name. Then what should I call you? Wife? Lorelei? My sweet little baby. Whatever you want. Then I'll switch it up. As long as the person doesn't change." Lorelei wanted to tell him that he didn't need to work so hard. Her fortune was so vast that he could squander it for several lifetimes, even if he started his own business. But she didn't want to crush his spirit, so she suppressed the thought. If Liam wanted to earn money, she would let him. Perhaps it was just a man's pride. The fact that he was now willing to even consider spending her money was progress. It meant he was slowly accepting her. Stroking the inexpensive bracelet on her wrist, Lorelei felt that this was what happiness felt like. Liam asked, "Lorelei, can I post on social media?" Lorelei's brow furrowed. Liam cursed himself for being an idiot. "Lorelei, wife, baby, can I post something on my feed?" Lorelei nodded. "Of course. Liam can do whatever he wants." Liam took a photo of their two hands holding the marriage certificates and posted it with a caption, "This grass has an owner. I love my wife." The post instantly created a tidal wave of reactions. First from his classmates, then his academic advisor, many of his old part-time work buddies, and finally his best friend, Owen Wu. The comments were a flood of question marks. Only Owen asked, "Is it with Willow?" Willow and the Lin family, of course, couldn't see the post since he had blocked them. A moment later, Owen's call came through. "Dude, what's going on? Did you get married to Willow?" "It's not Willow," Liam replied. "I have nothing to do with her anymore." Then who is it? Bro, you can't just marry some random person because you couldn't get Willow. It's not random, it's true love. She's beautiful and has a sweet voice. And she's a rich girl. Owen was petrified. After a long pause, he exploded. Damn you. You. Alright, stop being so bitter. Let's meet up tomorrow and talk. Damn you to hell. Let's meet at the dorm tomorrow. I've got big plans for you. You piece of... My gaming account is yours. Okay, brother. That night, the marks on Liam's body became even more pronounced. Seeing the bite mark on his shoulder was still clear, Lorelei frowned. This mark. I don't want to use the scar cream. Lorelei left this for me. I want it to be imprinted here forever. To tell the whole world that I am yours. Lorelei looked up at him, her eyes sparkling. Is that how you really feel? Liam nodded. Only then can I feel your presence with me at all times. He chuckled to himself. I'll use your own words against you. See how you respond to that. The next day, Liam felt the marks were even deeper. Was this woman part dog or part wolf? At breakfast, Liam suddenly glanced at the wall clock and smiled. The small gesture sent a shiver down Franklin's spine. Liam said nothing, just continued eating. Franklin, you don't have to follow me when I go out. I'm not used to it. Before Franklin could respond, Liam added, you can ask Lorelei for permission. Don't worry, I won't run away again. Franklin shook his head and went to call Lorelei. He returned a moment later. The miss says it's fine. Liam wasn't bothered by Lorelei's surveillance, but he knew he would be going back to school soon, and having a group of bodyguards following him everywhere would be too conspicuous. After breakfast, Liam drove the Koenigsegg out of the manor. In the rearview mirror, he saw a black van following at a discreet distance. It confirmed his suspicions. Not having Franklin follow him was just for show. He had gained a significant amount of freedom, but he knew, deep down, that he would be watched wherever he went. It was unavoidable. Lorelei's love came with an intense possessiveness, but he found he didn't mind it. He had hated it before because he had hated her dominance. Now that he had accepted her and was learning to love her, he had to accept her issues, including her pathological possessiveness. But as long as it wasn't too obvious, the covert surveillance was fine. It would also give Lorelei peace of mind. He wouldn't oppose it, nor would he call her out on it. Meanwhile, at her office, Lorelei stared at her phone screen. She had seen Liam smile towards the camera, and a chill had run through her. But he seemed to have noticed nothing, which put her slightly at ease. At Kingston University, classes hadn't started yet, but many students were still living on campus, including Liam's best friend, Owen Wu. Liam parked the car in the campus lot, returned to his old dorm, and found him. In his past life, after Liam died, Owen had been the one who cried the hardest, wailing like a grandson at his grandfather's funeral. Sometimes, only death reveals who truly cares about you. For that alone, Liam had to ensure Owen's prosperity and save him from his previous life's tragic fate. Liam remembered clearly that Owen was about to face a series of calamities. First, the chairman of his father's company would abscond with all the funds. Owen's father, a manager, would be used as a scapegoat and end up in prison. His mother would struggle to hold the broken family together, her black hair turning white in just a year. Due to the sudden family crisis, Owen would also be hurt by a scheming woman, eventually falling into a deep depression. And while all this was happening, Liam had been caught up in his cat-and-mouse game with Lorelei, completely oblivious to his friend's plight. Then, the day after his own death, Owen, drunk, had gotten into a car accident that left him with both legs broken, confined to a wheelchair for the rest of his life. It was a tragic story by any measure. At that moment, however, Owen was squatting on the toilet, and his phone slipped from his hand. After a moment of consideration, he grabbed a pair of chopsticks and, fighting back disgust, tried to fish it out. It wasn't that the phone was so important, but it contained vital information. Owen, is something wrong? Why are you eating crap? Owen turned his head and saw his good friend, Liam, who had arrived as promised. His hand trembled, and the phone he had just managed to grab fell back into the bowl. Liam, seeing his friend's predicament, burst into laughter that echoed through the dorm. Liam, it's not what it looks like. My phone fell in. Right, whatever you say. You've really misunderstood. I was just getting my phone. Right, getting your phone. And other business. Damn it. Owen wanted to curse. When he finally retrieved his phone, he washed it again and again, wiping it relentlessly. The sight nearly made Liam vomit. He kept his distance the entire time. Owen, you're something else. You can't be so down on your luck that you have to eat. That. I'm impressed. Ugh. With his phone lost and found, Owen wasn't too upset. He asked, all right, Spill. What's the deal with you? Liam dodged the question. Did you get your internship certificate? Owen shook his head. I've been working part-time jobs all summer. I didn't have time for an internship. Good. I'm starting a media company. I want you to be a content creator. Owen was incredulous. A content creator or a shareholder? Liam nodded. A content creator. Owen's eyes widened. Bro, are you crazy? You're worse off at the Lynn house than I am as a regular student. Where would you get the money to start a company? My wife has money. Even if your wife has. Wait, who is your wife, anyway? Owen finally remembered why he had asked Liam to meet. He was dying of curiosity. It's a secret, Liam said. So you're lying. I knew it. You're handsome, but you couldn't even get Willow. How could you possibly? Liam shoved his phone in Owen's face, showing him the picture of the marriage certificates. My wife is a rich girl. She's beautiful, has money, and is 3 years older than me. You know what they say, a woman 3 years older is a gold brick. Well, mine isn't a brick, she's a gold mountain. After a few minutes of explanation from Liam, Owen was stomping his feet and pounding his chest. You should die. This is more painful than killing me. Aya. After a good cry, he asked, all right, even if you're starting a company, why me as a content creator? Liam glanced at him. Because you're dumb enough to attract views. And can you please stop waving that disgusting phone in my face? Ugh. Damn it. Is there no justice? Is there no law? But Owen was genuinely happy for Liam. First, that he had finally gotten over Willow. Second, that he had found his so-called true love. As his brother, he was overjoyed. Liam, now that you're married, you should live a good life with your wife. Willow never deserved you. If I wasn't afraid of making you angry, I would have told you that long ago. Also, I don't want to be a content creator. I want to be in management. Owen had tried to persuade Liam before, but after one failed attempt, he had given up. If Liam got hurt by Willow, he would be there to drink with him. If Willow miraculously changed her ways, he would offer his sincere blessings. That's what it meant to be brothers who had grown up together, sharing everything from fights to punishments to college. You don't have to tell me that. Of course I'm going to live a good life with my wife. As for management, I can consider it. But can you please put your phone away first? Damn it. I'll put it away if you agree. Fine, fine. Management is yours. How could I? Ugh. In the end, Liam surrendered to Owen's phone attack. After settling things, they went downstairs, planning to rent an office space immediately. On the way to the parking lot, Liam told Owen about severing ties with the Lin family. Owen was once again amazed, praising Liam's guts. At that moment, in the parking lot, a crowd had gathered around a car. I looked it up. It's a Koenigsegg 1:1. Only 6 were ever made. The price has been driven up to 100 million. Whose car is this? Does our school have a billionaire? If this were my car, I'd be willing to live in a mansion and marry 8 wives. I need a picture. Everyone move. Willow, come over here. Let's take one together. The new semester was about to start, and Willow, as the campus queen, had been chosen to perform at the welcome ceremony. She was here today to register her act. She loved these kinds of high-profile events. Haley was with her. Hearing Haley call her, Willow moved with what she thought was an elegant grace. Is this really a good idea? Haley grabbed her arm. What's the big deal? We're just taking a picture for our social media. As Willow and Haley leaned against the car to take photos, some of the surrounding students offered a word of caution. That's a $100 million car. You should be careful. Yeah, if you damage it, even being the campus queen won't cover the cost. I'm waiting right here. I have to see who the god is that drives a Koenigsegg to school. Look at the campus queen and Haley. They look like a couple of chickens. Not everyone liked Willow, especially some of the girls who despised her feigned innocence. And they had even less respect for Haley, who lived in Willow's shadow. Haley scoffed. What's there to be afraid of? Even if the owner showed up, he'd be captivated by our Willow's beauty. Besides, what's the harm in taking a picture? She pulled Willow along, and the two of them leaned halfway over the silver-gray hood for a few pretty selfies. This was the scene that greeted Liam as he arrived. Who said you could take pictures? Hearing the familiar voice, Willow's hand trembled, and her phone clattered onto the hood. Damn it. Liam wanted to scream. This was one of the gifts Lorelei had given him, and this witch's phone had just dented it? He rushed over to inspect the hood. Sure enough, there was a tiny, grain of rice-sized scratch. Willow saw it too, but she didn't think it was a big deal. Haley, however, was not about to back down. She still remembered how Liam had humiliated them last time. Liam, what are you doing here? And don't touch that car. Do you know what this is? Can you afford to pay for it if you damage it? Seeing Liam again, Willow thought he looked even more handsome. What was happening? She felt a slight flutter in her heart. Liam stared at the scratch on the car, his heart aching. He pointed to the phone on the hood. Whose phone is this? It's mine, Willow said. Good, Liam replied. Then you can pay for the damages. Haley and Willow were stunned. Liam, it's not even the start of the semester. Why are you here? Did you come looking for me? Liam nodded. That's right. I came looking for you. You damaged my car. Pay up. Haley laughed. Liam, are you delusional? Do you know what kind of car this is? Why don't you just say you're a billionaire tycoon? I'm not, Liam thought, but my wife is. He didn't waste any more words. He took out the car key and pressed a button. The Koenigsegg responded. The crowd was utterly dumbfounded. This sports car, worth over 100 million, actually belonged to Liam? Liam was famous at school, known by almost everyone for 3 reasons. First, he was handsome, the undisputed campus king. He had countless admirers, all of whom he had rejected. Second, he was a simp. Such a handsome guy, shamelessly fawning over Willow Luo. Although Willow was also beautiful and the campus queen, many felt Liam could do better. For example, them, the girls who craved his attention but were cruelly rejected. Third, he was outstanding. To win Willow's heart, Liam had molded himself into a model of excellence. He won scholarships left and right, excelled academically, and was proficient in singing, dancing, and rapping. But it was all for Willow. It was rumored that all his scholarship money was spent on her. Because he was so well known, everyone knew his situation. Liam was not wealthy. That was common knowledge. How could a rich person work part-time jobs every day? And now, this universally acknowledged simp and campus king was claiming to drive a $100 million Koenigsegg. Who would believe it? Damn, this car belongs to Liam? This is insane. Willow damaged the car. Liam will definitely not make her pay. I don't know about that. Didn't you hear what he said? He said pay up. And he looks really angry. Wouldn't you be angry if your car got dented? If only Liam could be my boyfriend. I never knew he was so rich and so handsome. If I could sit in his passenger seat, I'd be willing to let him touch my leg, or even marry him. Whoa, you're getting a little greedy there. Knowing Liam, this will probably all blow over. Owen, standing nearby, was also in shock. Liam had only said he was driving, not what he was driving. He never imagined it would be such a magnificent sports car. Did those people say it was worth $100 million? $100 million. The rich wife Liam had mentioned was no ordinary rich girl. Oh, just kill him now. This was too painful. He was afraid of Liam struggling, but he was also afraid of him succeeding too much. Now, he couldn't even feel jealous. The gap was too vast. Composing himself, he walked over to Liam and looked at the stunned Willow and Haley. Liam, don't be too harsh. They only made a tiny scratch. For the sake of being classmates, just have them pay a few $100,000 and call it a day. Haley nearly coughed up blood, but then she had a thought. You didn't rent this car, did you? $100 million car, Liam said. Go ahead and try to rent one for me. Haley was taken aback. He had a point. But that couldn't be right. She knew Liam's situation. Where would he get a luxury car? Even Willow was completely bewildered. She gently tapped her own head, as if to check if she was still dreaming. Liam, is this really your car? Where did you get the money to buy it? Or did you borrow it from someone? Liam couldn't be bothered to explain. Enough talk. Pay up. Just like Owen said, $1 million. If you can't pay, I'll send you to jail. Haley immediately flared up. Liam, don't push your luck. $1 million? Are you insane? Now, immediately, hand over the car keys and let our Willow drive this car. Then I'll consider persuading her to give you a chance to get close to her. Willow began to act shy and coy, also waiting for Liam's response. Are you an idiot? Liam shot back. Since you don't want to pay, I'll just call the police. He took out his phone and dialed. Hello, I'd like to report a crime. Yes, that's right. They're also threatening me to hand over use of the car. I believe I'm being coerced. Yes, at Kingston University. As Liam spoke clearly into the phone, both Willow and the onlookers realized he was serious. He hung up and asked, so, can you pay now? The police will be here soon. Then he contacted his insurance company. Of course, Willow didn't have that kind of money. Her family had a small business thanks to the Lynn family's support, but she herself had very little. She lived what appeared to be a good life thanks to handouts from Ethan and Liam's hard work. Haley stammered, we don't have that much money. Who knows if your old car was already broken? No money? That's fine. You can sell yourselves. You are vulgar. Liam then turned to Willow. Or you could ask your dear cousin Ethan. You two are very close, aren't you? He enunciated the words, very close, with deliberate clarity. Willow panicked, as if a hidden secret had been exposed. My cousin Ethan is just a student. Where would he get that kind of money? Cousin? Oh, right. Your cousin. Since you're not willing, then pay up. Liam wasn't ready to expose Willow just yet. He planned to find crucial evidence to make the pair of cousins face the music. To destroy someone, you must first let them inflate. The fall from the highest peak is the most satisfying. Willow looked aggrieved. All right, I know I was wrong. How about this? I'll give you the opportunity to have dinner with me, and we'll call it even. Liam was disgusted. Willow, can you please stop making me sick? Right now, you're like a pile of crap. Not only are you soft, you also stink. Just knowing you feels like a curse. Willow wailed, Liam, why? Why are you doing this to me? Sob, sob, sob. A wave of nausea washed over Liam. He almost threw up on the spot. At this moment, Willow's disgustingness surpassed even Owen's phone.